Alright, y'all, so we're back with another video about one of the most talked about women in, could it be the entire internet? I know definitely in the true crime content space, but could it be across all news sectors and YouTube online sectors? Let me know if you believe that to be true. Here we are, a couple weeks now out in the aftermath of the trial, the verdict, not guilty. I keep wondering, are we going to see the feds get involved? As we know, law enforcement entities were involved in this case. I say this in every video. I can't believe that the people that hate Karen Reed, like, hey, say you hate her, you think she's guilty, whatever side of the spectrum you stand on, I just can't understand how no one doesn't think that, or how everyone doesn't think that there's more at play, that these other individuals involved did something, and because they're law enforcement, they've kind of backed away. And then now these recent talks about that there was some swinger parties and stuff like that going on, it all is kind of, in a sense, starting to come together to me. Like, it could too, if they dive further into it, it could all come together, because it would make sense why they're standoffish about it, because you got law enforcement already, which they always tiptoe around that. As I pointed out in numerous videos, like, law enforcement very often doesn't pay the piper at all. You know, it takes so much for something to happen. Often it's just early retirement or quitting, and like I said, then transferring somewhere else and doing some more corruption is typically what we've seen in the past happen. But some news to go over here. But before we get into the news updates, like this Karen Reed official page on Instagram, for the people that hate her, I'm trying to understand what they're even saying out here. It says, this demented, soulless excuse for a human being uploaded her social media pic with an embedded song that has lyrics which say, drive like an asshole, dressed like a bitch. She continues to torment and taunt the people who loved him. John O'Keefe's life mattered. He deserved better. So they believe that Karen Reed is flat out like trolling people, tormenting them online. Comment if you believe that to be true. It says the long nights paid off when showing the trial prep and things, different things that's been showed on the social media. Let's see some of the responses to this. This is unbelievable. This is in unbelievable poor taste. How dare any of you? Your disdain and mistreatment of the O'Keefes is despicable. I almost can't believe this is for real. There is no bottom though, is there? None. She's enjoying this. She's sadistic. Who runs that account? Someone says Nick Rocco at Karen's direction. Because you see, when you go to the page, you see posts and such of her firsthand. You know, like I said, trial prep and all kinds of stuff. Wow, at least she acknowledged that she's a raging ass bitch. She did drive like an asshole, and she did dress like a bitch. So I want to ask everyone, do you think it is, regardless in poor taste, her posting that? Unless someone out there thinks that it was like done in a way in which she didn't notice the lyrics. I'm not trying to act naive. Do you think that that's a possibility, or do you think that she flat out is saying it like to torment the family, or do you think that she's saying it in a sense like, hey, I beat the case, and just throwing those lyrics out there? Like, I don't know. I mean, again, I think there's more to the story, no question. Like I was saying, whether you believe she did it or not, there's just no way that these other individuals, there's just more at play. What happened at that house? And my whole take on it hasn't been like this whole like, you know, Karen Reed's this big victim and she's innocent. Like, I'm saying it was foolish for them to take her back to trial with the first result and with the evidence in which they had. And then since we've seen the jurors speak out, there was just no way they were going to convict this woman. But share your thoughts about her post in this song, right? She's definitely describing herself and telling everyone how she got away with murder. Do you believe that to be true? Epitome of evil, more like drive like a bitch and dress like an asshole, effing hater. The whole world would be a better place without her. Can it sink any lower? Then here's the big news updates here that I wanted to share with you guys. And apologies about all the background noise, y'all, but peep it. This is from Turtle Boy. Breaking news: Alan Jackson will be breaking his media silence by exclusively coming on the Turtle Boy live show on Saturday night at 9 p.m. It won't be as long as the other interviews, but he has something he wants to say. I look forward to the opportunity. See you then. Then we just got them celebrating the not guilty, playing the Rocky, Eye of the Tiger. We are almost halfway back to the following the Karen Reed, free Karen Reed page had share, share, share. And then right here, Take Naps was saying this about this page. For people still invested in the Karen Reed trial like me, that's the person saying this, not me, right? But I am still invested in a sense where I want to see what happens next. Like I was saying, the feds have to get involved in here. We know, like in my opinion, there's law enforcement corruption that went down in this case, and it's just been proven over time. You can't trust law enforcement to investigate law enforcement. Even the internal affairs individuals who want to see other cops go down, there's just so much politics behind the scenes and such that it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I mean, it does, but not at the rate in which it should. Most shit gets buried. That's just a fact. And, I've often pointed out, too, that a lot of these street codes and stuff about not snitching and things like that, which over, as people, if you did ever, live by that or care about that kind of stuff, as you get older and mature, more and more it looks silly and stupid, and you're like, fuck that. The police are even worse with the no rat stuff. It's insane, man. It really is. But it says, holding out hope for justice for John someday. Follow this account for behind the scenes clips, which is this page. Official Karen Reed, where is Higgins, where is Chloe, how long until somebody gets pinched? And again, my opinion is that's not going to happen unless the feds get involved. Karen Reed's defense fund is no longer active. If anyone wants to donate, there's two ways. One, Venmo, two, PayPal. So apparently people are still donating, even though the case is over. It seems like she's still raking in the dollars. So it's just pretty crazy to think of with everything with this case and all that, that like Karen Reed is, it's like hated and loved or obsessed about in some ways. It's really something, man. So there you have it. Turtle Boy's got that big interview coming. The lyrics to the song is that her taunting the O'Keefes that she got away with murder. And, everything else we spoke on. What is your take and thoughts on it all? Talk to me in the comments, subscribe, and I will get back with you guys on the next one.